Mariners win 2-1. They improved to 13-16 on the year. They won the first game of the 3 games against Double-A Midland. Okay. I gotta be honest with you guys. The reason why I'm a little giggly and pumped up has very little to do with the Seattle Mariners. Just that Seattle Kraken game. I know you guys are here for Mariner baseball talk. I, I don't even have words for how exciting that was. Like that John Boy's tweet, which is not technically family friendly, but it involves jumping out of a motorcycle. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. What a fun day for Seattle sports. Um, I think the main takeaway here has to be just how good Bryce Miller's results were today. This was his MLB debut, jumping up from Double A. Now this is becoming more and more common. You know, AAA has become more of a holding ground for depth than like elite prospects. There's still some for sure, but you see more and more guys making that jump, so it's not that big of a deal, and or not as uncommon. I shouldn't say as big of a deal. I think Miller pitched great. Uh, the results anyway: 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 runs, 10 strikeouts. You can't ask for much more than that. Literally took a perfect game into the 6th inning and was able to get out of that inning. Let's go over how this happened real quick. I got ahead of myself. In the 6th inning, Asturia Ruiz doubles home Tony Kemp to give the Athletics a 1-0 lead. AJ Pollock in the 8th inning not only breaks up a shutout, breaks up a no-hitter with a home run off Richard Lovelady. Let's be mature about his name to make it 1-1, and Jared Kelenic doubles to right to score Jose Caballero. There's one thing I want to talk about with that play, but to take a 2-1 lead, Paul Sewald does an excellent job and gets the job done. Mariners get a win against the worst baseball team that I have seen in terms of roster. Okay, let's talk about some negatives here because look, this could have been a real bad video. This could have been a really bad video. And I have to give credit to Mason Miller. Mason Miller is a really good pitching prospect. I think Mason Miller has a chance to be a really good pitcher someday. You can't get no hit by Mason Miller. You can't. Not right now. And the Mariners took some non-competitive swings today. Just some non-competitive swings. And give him credit for, getting ahead in the account more often than not. He did walk 4. That's going to be the biggest issue with Miller. Is he going to throw enough strikes to be more than a mid-rotation guy? Like his stuff suggests. I mean, you saw some of those sliders. You saw that he can hit 99, 100 miles an hour. His stuff suggests he can be more than that. It really can. I'm just so wired from that game. I'm so sorry, guys. I can just feel my heart pounding. It can't happen. And there were some really poor offensive games today. JP Crawford was not good. Ty France, once again, just really struggles. 0 for 3. He does draw a walk, and he ends up, we'll talk about it in a second. I don't want to get too far ahead of me. Eugenio Suarez looks lost at the plate right now. I would seriously consider moving him down in the lineup right now. But here's the thing. I'm not sure who you're really moving up. Cal Raleigh had a nice game, draws a couple of walks. He does strike out once, just misses on a pitch. He ends up flying out to right field. Taylor Schmel wasn't great. Jose Caballero does get the hit, but was really not effective in those first couple of at-bats, but does get the hit off of Richard Lovelady. Be mature, guys. Those are your negatives, okay? Let's go back to the results for Bryce Miller. And here's why I keep saying results and correcting myself when I say he pitched great. Because I honestly don't know if he pitched great or not. I know that he threw the fastballs by this lineup. It's the worst lineup I've ever seen. It's so bad. So I really want to come and check out the data on some of this stuff because he wasn't like he was throwing 102 by guys. There were some 96, 97, I believe. And I was impressed with his control. for the most part. He missed some spots here and there. So that's great. But he was able to get away with some fastballs today. I'm not trying to poo-poo this at all. I want to see some of the data on spin rates and some other stuff because that Oakland lineup is just they're 6-24, guys. 6-24. That's a 200 winning percentage. That is a poor, horrific batting average. Like watching that Oakland lineup, here's the thing. I talked about this on Molly Want Monday today. Who of those guys are you taking on the Seattle Mariners right now? I'm looking at the lineup right now. I'm not having anybody in the starting lineup. I would take Tony Kemp as a bench option, but he's not playing very much. I would take Shea Langoliers as a prospect. Brent Rooker's interesting. He's off to a really nice start. That would be an interesting DH option. But the rest, absolutely not. No to Asterio Ruiz, no to Ramon Laureano, no to Jace Peterson. That is the worst flipping lineup I've ever seen. Holy crap, it's bad. And I'm so sorry, A's fans. It's not fair. They shouldn't be getting away with this. Now, look, I talked about this on Twitter. When I was a kid, I hated the A's. More when I was a teenager than a kid, because they were pretty bad, actually, when I was a kid. Mark McGwire was really good. But I hated the A's as a teenager because they were so good and so sustainably good. Yeah, you've seen the movie. Not my favorite movie, by the way. Maybe one day I'll tell you about my problems with Moneyball. It's not just, never mind. Go Kraken. What the heck was I even talking about? Dude, I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, anyway, yeah, this lineup's really bad. So I think Miller pitched well, but I also think we have to be cognizant of the fact that he just got to face another double A lineup, a triple A lineup. Let's be honest, a triple A lineup. Awful. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. It's not fair for the A's fans. That's what I was talking about. I hated them because they were so sustainably good because of what they were doing. Now, it sucks they didn't spend a lot of money and they lost guys like Giambi and they lost guys like Johnny Damon and Miguel Tejada and all that crap. But they were only bad for a little bit when they were even kind of bad. And I was so jealous of them, especially as a guy who watched his favorite team not make the postseason for 22 years. The worst baseball team that I have had the pleasure of watching is this team. And I was 22 for the 2003 Detroit Tigers, and I recognize how terrible that team is. I think this one either gives it a run for its money or it beats it. It really does. It's just I don't even know what to say about how bad this team is. Long story short, congratulations to Bryce Miller. That's awesome. I was rooting for him so hard and so nervous that the Seattle Mariners weren't going to score a gosh dang run for this kid. And they ended up kind of not. Look, say whatever you want about the win, about how it's a flawed stat. I mean, it's obvious. You're not making an original point by pointing out that the win is a flawed stat that teaches you nothing about how someone pitched. But it'd be pretty darn cool to get a win in your MLB debut after throwing 6 innings of one-run baseball and striking out 10. And you can't get 1 run for dude. Bad offensive effort tonight. The exception of 2 players. Jared Kelenic. I mean, that was clutch. Huge. For all of the things we've said about Jared Kelenic, there have been enough, and this is still a small sample of his success. There's no doubt about that too. But there have been some big moments for Jared Kelenic in his short time, especially for someone who's, let's be honest, stunk. He's had some big hits. big hits. You can't doubt whether you believe in clutch or not, you can't doubt that he is not able to step up in big moments. Now, doesn't really matter if you're not even the borderline 0.0 war guy. Not even that. But he's more than that now. He looks great. He just looks great. And good for AJ Pollock. That's why you signed AJ Pollock. For moments like that against a left-handed pitcher, should he be breaking up no-hitters against the Oakland gosh dang Athletics, aka AA Midland? No. Shouldn't have to have that happen. But he did, and it tied the game. And good for him, because he's been really bad for most of the year. I still sadly think he might be their best DH option. It's worth pointing out that the only reason Pollock was in the lineup tonight was because Julio got scratched again with back stuff. Really hope this isn't a lingering thing. I also think they're just taking every possible precaution, especially against a team as bad as the Oakland Athletics. I wanted to talk real quick about Ty France again. First of all, glad he's feeling better. Glad he's been able to, he's gotten in all 3 of these games, even though he has dealt clearly with an illness. So for those of you who didn't watch, the game's tied at 1. There's 2 outs. There's runners on first and second. And Kelenic just scorches a double. Scorches. And JP or Jose Caballero scores easily. And Ty France only gets to third base. Here's what I want to talk about. And look, me saying this isn't going to probably change anything, but you really have to consider in late inning situations, and I know they were shorthanded tonight, so it probably changed a little bit, but it's something they have to think about going forward. Pinch running for Ty France. Because a Major League Baseball player should score on that. Yes, Ramon Laureano has a howitzer of an arm. He is one of the best throwing outfielders in baseball. It's amazing. The A's have had such a weird juxtaposition of arms. I was just thinking about that like they have guys who have cannons like Yoenis Cespedes and Ramon Laureano. They also have had guys like Johnny Damon who just flat out couldn't throw. I think you really got to consider pinch running for him in these type of situations because he is unfathomably slow. And if this would have been, a situation where the Mariners were down a run, or a situation where, you know what I'm trying to say, that you can't. He is an albatross out there. He's one of the worst base runners in baseball, not just because of speed, but because he doesn't get great jumps. I mean, look at the Bronx cheer this dude got when he stole a base. I really like Ty France. I've picked on him a lot this year, and it's partially because, he's pretty flippin' slow. Part of it is because he's a huge part of this team, and 238 average and 352 slugging with a 336 on base percentage. That is solid, but again, built a lot with hit by pitches. I don't care. Walks, hit by pitches. As long as he's healthy, great. That's not good enough. They need him, especially if he's going to hit second or third. And originally, he was in the lineup hitting third. When Julio got scratched, he moved up to the second spot, and Kelenic hit third. They got to get him going. And maybe what the ways to get him going is to move him down in the lineup, because there's just no hard contact. And it's good for him for drawing the walk. Non-competitive pitch to draw the walk, but he didn't swing at it, so that was good. There's no hard contact. There's none. The bullpen was really good tonight. Really good tonight. Got in a little bit of trouble, but got the job done. Gabe Spire got the job done. Justin Topa got the job done. Did issue a walk, but I've just been so impressed with Spire and Topa. For all the complaints I have for what this roster build was this year, I don't think you could say enough good things about finding those two dudes, because they've been massive, especially with Andre Munoz out. And Paul Sewald was great. If there's a one-run lead, Paul Sewald is going to shove. There's a history now here. Oh, I mean, it was a fun win. It was awesome to see Bryce Miller pitch so well in his MLB debut. But my two takeaways from this: holy crap, are the A's bad? And I've watched them a bunch this year. Like, I work for RotoWire, writing about baseball. I watch a lot of games, especially late night games, and the A's play a lot of late night games. I knew they were bad, but like when you have a rooting investment for the other team, you get even more, I think, of a sense of how terrible this is. 6-24 is one of the worst starts in Major League Baseball history. It hasn't been bad luck. They've been outscored by well over 100 runs. It's as close to, I said this again on Sunday, this is as close to a demand of a sweep I can think of for the Seattle Mariners. And certainly a demand to win the series. Great to see them win. Oh, and the second takeaway, go Kraken. Oh my gosh. I'm still kind of like buzzing from it. That was so fun. So fun to see against a good team. Oh, playoff hockey. I don't think I'm cut out for it. As a neutral party, everybody's told me like you just not gonna believe it, man. Playoff hockey's so different. I've been like, yeah, I've watched playoff hockey. I'm a 40-year-old male. I have watched a lot of playoff hockey. That didn't mean to come off as like not males watching hockey. I know plenty of females and non-binary people who watch plenty of hockey, but I watch a lot of sports. I knew that playoff hockey was going to kill me. Maybe just not at the level that I thought it was. Whew. So yeah, go Kraken. Great that the Mariners won that game because I'm just going to tell you right now, a loss, a no-hitter, you would have seen yelling of biblical proportions. A loss would have been pretty bad. A lot of me just shaking my head and a lot more pauses, and I know I have a lot of pauses anyway. But it's a win. We're fine. Everything's great. Tomorrow we have Logan Gilbert against JP Sears. Sears is okay. I expect Gilbert to shove. Really, really, really do. I'm actually pretty glad that Luis Castillo's not pitching in this series because what a waste. What a waste that would be. Cool to see that Castillo's going to get the start in the first City Connect uniforms, by the way. That's fun. I'll be at the game on Saturday. First Mariner game of the year. Hopefully not the last. I will be bougie and sitting in a suite with my buddy Chris and a whole bunch of my other friends. It should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. Whew. What a sports day. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB. And most importantly, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please tell your friends. Having a blast doing these. I can't believe this is already the 29th of them. 133 to go. But I still can't believe these 29 have gone by pretty fast. We've had an absolute blast. And I thank you so much to everybody who has checked them out. RotoWire Baseball Podcast. My imminent arrivals, aka the top 10 prospects for redraft leagues, will go up tomorrow morning. Definitely check that out. Please show your support. Column did really well the first week. Not surprised because I know a lot of people eat that stuff up with a spoon, but I'd really like to, show people that it's good. I think it's good. Go Kraken.